Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 20 of Be With Me in the book of James. We are going to talk today about a dystopian, upside-down, Alice-in-Wonderland day. It is the day of judgment. It is a day when money is going to be talking, riches are going to be rotting, clothes are going to be eaten, metals are going to be corroding, and there is flesh-eating treasure. This is the day of judgment. Now, here's the thing. It's a real day. It's a future day. Everyone will see this day. Everybody is going to see this day. You will see this day. So let's pay attention. This is from James chapter 5, verse 1. Come now, you rich, weep and howl for the miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver have corroded, and their corrosion will be evidence against you and will eat your flesh like fire. You laid up treasure in the last days. Behold, the wages of the laborers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, are crying out against you, and the cries of the harvester have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. You have lived on the earth in luxury and in self-indulgence. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the righteous person. He does not resist you. Okay, so that's it. So we have this day here, a crazy day, where money is literally talking. It's crying out against the unrighteous rich person here. It stands as a condemner against that person. And how do we know this? Is that this rich person became rich by fraud, by taking wages that didn't belong to them, essentially stealing from them, not paying them, didn't pay what they agreed. And this is a fraud is like this financial trickery. I win. And the cries of the defrauded person have reached the ears of a righteous God. And what was a means of exchange, that is money, has turned into a means of condemnation. I want to talk about the Lord of hosts just for a second. So this is the armies out moment of the Lord. When it talks about the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, the Lord of infinite power, the Lord of infinite judgment, it's sort of the opposite. Same God, but just a different side of his personality, where Abraham was a friend of God. So this intimacy and access and sharing, that's this friendship with Abraham. This is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about armies out. As one of my friends in Bible study said, this is when God opens up the can of whoop-ass. That is the armies out day, the Lord of hosts. And it's this crazy day where money is talking, money is condemning, riches are rotting, garments are being eaten by moths, and inert and craziness here. So the rules of the earth are not happening. That is, inert metals of gold and silver are corroding. They're turning sour. They're acting as evidence against you. And you have flesh-eating treasure. That is, the gold and silver have corroded. Their corrosion will be evidence against you and will eat your flesh like fire. You're having flesh-eating treasure. Crazy. So here's the problem, is they laid up treasure, and they specifically laid up other people's treasure that they stole. And so this person has fields, he has employees, and what he should have been doing is stewarding the resources. So he doesn't steward them well. He doesn't even do an okay job. He doesn't do a neutral job. He does a minus job here. He commits fraud against the harvester and misuses his fields in this way. He was in a position to multiply and bless and be a blessing, and ended up defrauding and ending with self-indulgence. So he forgot the God who sees and hears. He forgot there will be a judgment. He forgot there was a Lord with armies and a Lord of hosts. And then worse, he condemned and murdered the righteous person for financial gain. He misuses his power. He misuses even his legal power, and he condemns these people. That sounds like a legal aspect, and then he murders them. So it's a It's power abuse in every way imaginable. Financial abuse, legal abuse as they condemn him, personal abuse as he commits murder against innocent people. Now the righteous, there's this good group of people that's kind of hidden behind the scenes here. It's the righteous person who's praying to the Lord, crying out to the Lord, and awaiting the final judgment. That's what the righteous people do. So this dystopian, upside-down world, Alice-in-Wonderland, day of judgment, and this is, let's not hold this too far at arm's length. This is a real day in the future that all of us will see. All right, so let's remember, there is a Lord of hosts who is watching and listening. And one of the areas he's watching and listening is money. And obviously it's supposed to be a tool, a blessing, and a means of exchange. And we're supposed to live honestly with it. And we're not supposed to defraud people. And if we're in the position to have workers and resources, we should be careful with what we do with our workers and our waitresses and our taxes. It's just not worth it. It's not worth getting to this horrible day, right? And with our money, we demonstrate honesty, stewardship, consideration, not self-indulgence, fraud, and stealing. Don't forget the day of judgment. As it says in James 2:13, for judgment is without mercy to the one who has shown no mercy. And let's listen here for a second. What do we hear at this day? We hear weeping and howling and riches rotting and moth eating and gold corroding and flesh eating metals and the can of whoop ass being opened. So let's listen today and let's yield today because of that day. Let's do the right thing today with money because of that day. Let's do the right thing with the people that we encounter because of that day. Let's do the right thing with regards to righteousness because of that day. The day of judgment is coming. Let's be ready. Let's be the righteous. Let's be the people that are found in him. So let's not say, oh, I didn't know. Micah 6:8, he has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, to love hesed, that is, love the Lord's loving kindness, and walk humbly with our God. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.